Hi everyone. Welcome to the Speak Synergy, a podcast where we bring to you stories of exceptional resilience and strength of people who've undergone major setbacks in life, but they've not allowed those setbacks to define the course of their life. Today we have with us a very special guest, Parnavi Kherade, who's been a batchmate of mine from school, and Parnavi was diagnosed with cancer when she was 17, and through all her episodes of multiple sessions of chemotherapy, multiple relapses, the strength that Parnavi has shown has been something that I have personally admired a lot, because I still remember the time when when the news of her undergoing all of this was broken to us, and we were also taken aback. And but the strength that Parnavi has shown ever since through her entire journey is something that I really personally admire a lot. And thank you, Parnavi, for agreeing to join us for the first episode. It's an honor and pleasure to speak to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Delphina, for giving me this opportunity to come and speak on your podcast. And thank you.
Okay, so Parnavi, if I may ask you to introduce yourself to our viewers. Yeah.
Yes, so I'm Parnavi and I am currently working as a psychologist. I have my independent practice and I'm also an onco psychologist working with cancer patients to help them make their journey easier and to have a comfortable journey through the treatment.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, Parnavi is being very modest with her introduction, but she has finished her bachelor's in psychology. She's finished her master's in clinical psychology, has her independent practice, like she mentioned, and she's also the founder of Psy Spirit, a website where she runs social media awareness on mental health. And she also features stories of individuals have gone through who have gone through major illnesses or have had struggles with their mental health and how they've recuperated from all of it. Am I right, Parnavi?
Yes, yes.
Right. All right. So, Parnavi, if I can take you back to the time when you were diagnosed with cancer, how was it like? So, because cancer is one thing that it just happens to you. Was it like a was it like something gradual that you faced, or was it something that you were healthy the previous night, you woke up the next day feeling some kind of a discomfort? Can you take us through the journey, and what was that period like?
Yes, so I was diagnosed when I was 17. So it was actually the start of my 12th standard, you can say. So I was facing a lot of pain in my leg. So what the cancer that I had was Ewing sarcoma. So cancer of left femur basically.
Okay.
So I had a pain in that area for around 6 months. So for
Okay.
6 months, like doctors couldn't figure out what was going on, what was the reason behind the pain. And after like 6 months, you couldn't see anything in an X-ray also. So it was like a totally missed thing that no one could figure out. Then I was actually referred to an orthopedic surgeon by my family
Okay.
doctor. Yeah. So that's where he actually checked and he had a doubt that something major was going on. So from there, like the process of diagnosing exactly what I had started. But yeah, I was in like extreme pain for 6 months. Like day and night, I couldn't sleep at night because of the pain. Like I was taking painkillers, but they were not working that much. Like it was extreme pain.
Okay. Okay, and this pain started from nowhere. This is not the kind of pain that you had experienced ever before in your life.
Yeah, so obviously I've been like we have like if we are hurt or something, that's a different kind of pain, but this is a different pain. Like it's this constant screeching, pulling pain, you can
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it basically. It's a
Got it.
different
This was on your right leg,
left
left
leg.
leg. Okay. Okay. Got it. So, what were your first thoughts when you were, diagnosed, when you were broken the news about having cancer? What were your first thoughts? What was your reaction to it all? And how did you cope with it?
Yeah, so reaction might sound funny, but I was relieved actually. Like, I was happy that finally there's a solution to this issue, like the
Right.
pain that I've been going through for months. So
Mhm.
my reaction was not sad. I was like content, like, okay, now I can finally get over this pain. Like, there's a solution for it. So throughout the journey also, I was not sad or like angry at anyone or myself or my life basically, that why did I get cancer. So it
Oh,
was, I was fine with it.
okay. You seem to have made peace, and you seem to have, there was no chance, or there was no instance for you to make peace with it. You were already at peace with it, peace with the situation from step zero.
Yeah, I was actually looking at a brighter side that I'll be getting over this
Getting
pain
over
now.
it. there's
Right?
there's
There's a
yeah,
solution
there's
finally
a
for it.
solution, and you could see the end of the tunnel up
Yeah, right.
towards the end, right? So and can you take us briefly through your journey, right from being diagnosed? What was your treatment like, and your episodes of relapses? What was your frame of mind through it all, and how did you manage college during all of this?
So I had to give a break from college, like when I was diagnosed first,
Okay.
because yeah, like my mom, like I live with my mom. So
Right.
we both were not, we didn't know like how long it is going to take. It when it's first time with this big illness that everyone like is scared of, you can say.
Right.
So we didn't know how long the treatment would be and all. So the doctors did tell that it would take like a year or so to complete the whole treatment. And I was also told that I would need surgery. So my femur is basically replaced. So I have an implant from
Okay.
my hip bone to my femur. So that is a very big surgery. It was like a whole day surgery and all. So I had to give a break from my college. I couldn't give my 12th exams also.
Oh,
So yeah, I had my chemo, then my surgery. I was in the hospital for a month for that. Then you have to do all the rehabilitation, like walking, learning to walk again, and all of that. And again, I had my chemos after surgery also. So that did take a long time. I took break from my studies and everything. I completely like worked on myself throughout the time, and it was a comfortable thing. Like I didn't have anything negative with it. I looked at it as an opportunity, like who gets a break from 12th standard, right? Everyone wants to skip that 12th and 10th. So I was like, okay, I have this opportunity to like take a break from it. Yeah, so I looked at a positive side that way. And also like who gets cancer in their life, right? It's like a
right.
completely different experience. I also looked at it from that point of view.
Wow.
And yeah, after like my first treatment, I was okay, like I was cured completely for around 2 years, you can say 2 or 3 years.
Mhm.
I was cancer free. I was just doing my follow ups. I didn't have any medications, nothing at all. And then I had a relapse in after 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so the relapse was again pretty like I started the pain in the same area, so it was the
Okay.
same kind of a cancer.
Okay.
Then I had to go through the treatment again.
Mhm.
Again, if you ask me how was my reaction to the relapse, it was the same. Like I have been through this once, I can do this again.
Right.
Yeah,
Got it.
so
So you
same
had
treatment.
so you had two episodes of relapses.
Yeah, so this like first relapse, I was like all my chemos and all, I took that for around 6 months. That was a short thing because I was diagnosed earlier. So
Okay.
it was for 6 months. And then after that, again for around 6 months, I was cancer free.
Okay.
Then I had a relapse again. So then
Okay.
this time it was the same place, but I had
Okay.
also some growth in my lung area.
Oh.
Yeah. So for that again I had to go for treatment. So that was around 1.5 year, you can say. Because then the
Oh.
doctors had to try all the things so that it doesn't come back again.
Right.
So I had
So
my chemo and radiation and bone marrow transplant for the last treatment that I had.
Got it. So when it affected your lungs, did you have trouble with breathing, or was it
No,
there
I
was
had
nothing
no
like?
trouble in my lung area at all.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
like through the scans when they do before starting the treatment. That's when they came to know that I
Okay.
had some growth there also.
Okay. So even during
Only
your second relapse, your frame of mind was the same.
yes, like about the treatment, it was the same, but the
Okay.
second relapse was a little bit, you can say, tough for me from the
Mm-hmm.
educational point of view. Like
Okay.
I was struggling that way because I couldn't miss like more years of studying, right? Like
Yes.
all my friends around me had already moved on. Like they were
Right.
like 2 years ahead of me in education, and I was still in my graduation. Like
Mm-hmm.
they in my second relapse, actually they had already graduated
Right.
and I was still in my graduation, like bachelor's. So
Mm.
that was hard for me to accept. But yeah, I worked on that. I had to like work with myself to get over that my health is more important than completing my education. I
Right.
had actually like stopped my treatment also to give an exam, which I won't
Mm.
recommend to anyone. But yeah, I desperately just wanted to give an exam so that I don't lose 1 year of it, like
Right.
my college.
Right. Got it. And so, Parnavi, how did this entire almost decade long of experience change you as a person? I mean, of course, it's been such a significant episode in your life, multiple episodes in your life. How has this changed you as a person, and how did you make meaning out of all that you've gone through?
So it changed me completely, you can say.
Hmm.
Like before I was diagnosed, I was a completely different person who is like quiet, who won't talk much, who is underconfident. Like you knew me before my treatment also. So you know that. Like I was like very underconfident person who would not talk at all. But
Hmm.
yeah, so that is why I'm glad for this experience that I've had because it gave me that confidence and to be able to talk, and it actually helped me explore all the strengths that I had. Like if I could get over this, I don't think anything else would affect me. So
Correct.
that changed me as a person.
Right. And this was also the turning point in your life, which made you steer towards psychology and studying psychology and wanting to practice,
Yes,
right?
yes. It actually gave me like the path that I wanted to take.
Right.
That it gave me like why I wanted to. I obviously was interested in psychology. I had that subject in my 11th and 12th also.
Okay.
But yeah, it actually made like in psychology also what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
So I like mental health was a main aspect like throughout my treatment that I was able to work on
Okay.
because I was in the like I was studying psychology. So
Right.
it plays a very big role. Like if you are in a like best state of mind, like a positive state of mind during your treatment, it could be like any chronic illnesses or any minor illness also.
Right.
Yeah, it helps a lot to speed the process of treatment without any setbacks.
Right.
Yeah. So
Got it.
that gave me, that is why I found like I have to do psychology and help even other people who are suffering with illnesses, right? On the mental health part. Like it's very
Correct.
important to spread awareness why it's important in the health sector also.
Right. Got it. So speaking about mental health, Parnavi, so during your entire course of treatment, uh, I'm sure that you were very brave through it all, but was there any, mental health support that you had gotten from your, from your formal treatment, or was it a part of your formal treatment, or was there, any kind of support that you had, regardless of the fact that you were already strong?
No, actually, like in India, they don't provide you mental health support. Like even if it's like a chronic illness such as cancer.
Hmm.
But nowadays it hasn't. But when I started my treatment, there was no such exposure about like psychology or like health psychology in the health field. Now
Right.
it is, but I didn't receive any. Like actually, I myself did not have idea that there were people called as
Psychologist.
oncopsychologists, like who
Right.
work with cancer patients
Right.
when I was going through treatment.
Got it. Got it. Okay. And what advice would you have for somebody? Advice, or what would you like to share with somebody who has probably just been diagnosed with something as chronic as cancer? What is a piece of advice that you would like to share to them?
So first one is like take mental health support. Like you can take, even if it's not available at your hospital, take it like externally, because it's going to play like half of the part. Like 50% of your work is going to be done if you are like you. I always tell this also to my patients, like what you tell your mind does. Right.
Right.
So like this is your brain is the main CPU of your body who's going to like control all your systems in the body. So if
Right.
you are in the positive mindset that I am going to get out of this illness, like I am going to be cured and all of that, your
Right.
body will actually start working on achieving that. Yeah,
Right.
so that is why getting mental health support is the most important part. And also to the caregivers,
Mm.
like the family members,
Right.
for them also, because they are like obviously they're disturbed by the diagnosis of their loved ones, and
Right.
also they have to manage all the other things from finances to the admission procedures and the doctors and scans and all of that. So for
Right.
them also it's very important
Right.
to take mental health support, like talk to someone, because they
Right.
can't show that in front of the person who's diagnosed, right? So
Right.
they need to hide all of that. So it's important for them also.
Right.
And also, one more thing, like people who are actually diagnosed with cancer or any illness, they have a lot of guilt in them. Like they're troubling others because they themselves are not able to do anything. They're not
Correct.
able to help out in any way because they're so sick. Like they need help from like moving from one room to the other and all, if
Right.
they've had chemo and all. So to actually reduce that guilt and all, also mental health is important.
Right.
Like it's okay, you need the help right now, it's fine that you're taking help from others, like
Hmm.
just to be sure about that.
Right. This makes a lot of sense because, as Louise Hay also says, heal your mind first, everything else will
Yes,
follow. All healing will
yes,
follow after that,
exactly.
right? And speaking of that, that also reminds me, your mother is a single parent and you're a single child. Can you take us through? Can you shine light on how she dealt with the entire thing, because she's literally the only person who was there, uh, taking you throughout, like taking you, being with you throughout the procedures, trying to deal with so many other things that might have come with respect to finances, taking care of you physically, all of it. So can you share a little bit about your mother throughout the entire phase? How did she take all
Yes,
of it?
she is actually a strong person because she's
Right.
raised me single-handedly. Like
Right.
my dad passed away when I was 1 years old, so she's the only person who's raised me. So obviously she had had her own experience before, so she's a strong person.
Right.
But yeah, she was disturbed when I was diagnosed with this illness, but she didn't show that to me or anything to be
Mm.
that strong person so that I am also okay with it.
Right.
But yeah, I think she was disturbed for some time, but she had to get over it because of the circumstances, right? Had to
Right.
manage the finances and all of that. So financially, like I was lucky enough to have all these people around me, like the school, like students from school, teachers and all, like my friends also. They all like came together and helped me to raise all the funds for my treatment. There were NGOs that helped me to do that also. So
Okay.
that was actually taken care of. My mother did not have to like do a lot of struggle on that front, but yeah, she had to leave her job because there was no one to be with me. So that was there. So she had to be constantly with me through hospital and home and all of that. And there are other things that you need to manage also.
Right.
She's
Wow.
a pretty strong person throughout all
There's
of
no
this.
doubt about that for sure. Wow. This is really very, very inspiring. Is there anything else that you would like to share, Parnavi? Something that I probably not have asked you or covered during this course?
No, I think we did cover everything. The only message that I wanted to like be on this podcast and give is that to take your mental health help, even
Right.
if you are getting your physical health help,
Right.
right? Because if you are taking these medications and chemos or whatever kind of treatment you're taking, but in your mind you don't believe in what the treatment is going on, like you're going to
Mm.
get cured from this, right? If there's this constant negative thinking that is going on,
Correct.
that is not going to help your physique in any way. So yeah,
Got it. Right.
because I am yeah, like throughout my treatment also, like I use like art and all as a medium to
Right.
for my well-being, like to keep
Right.
my state of mind positive. So
Correct.
yeah, right now like I work with cancer patients and all, I use my art therapy, I'm an art therapist, so I use
Right.
that and mindfulness and all. So it has shown a lot of effect on them, like the journey becomes, a better
Much more
journey.
bearable.
You don't have anything negative attached with it, so that even if you're cured and you move on in your life, you don't have this phase of life as a negative thing, like a
Right.
negative phase in your life. Because a lot of people carry the trauma of like the cancer treatment. People
Mm.
are afraid to go to the hospital after their treatment,
Mm.
maybe afraid of injections and all
Right.
of that.
Mm.
You can have a lot of trauma from the treatment.
Got it.
So
Got it.
that should not be there.
Got it. That reminds me that about your hobbies. You're a dancer, and also art has helped you a lot throughout this entire journey. Can you share a little bit about how art helped you get over all of this that you were experiencing?
So art, I love painting. I loved it since I was a child. So because I couldn't do anything, like I didn't have the capacity to sit and study or do the things that I like that ways. And obviously I love dancing, but I couldn't do that because of my surgery and all. So like art was the only thing which I could sit, and I didn't need anything like to. I didn't have the you can say energy to hold a pen or even a brush. So whatever could come up, I was just trying to paint, and that helped me a lot with all the colors and all. It was a very mindful thing, like kind of a meditation, you can say, which
Right.
helped me through the journey.
Got it. Got it. And this is also something that you advocate for your patients, art-based therapy, right?
Yes, I'm an art therapist and
Okay.
mindful based practitioner. So I
Right.
use both of them with my patients.
Got it. Got it. Very interesting. I'll put the details of how anybody would want to reach out to Parnavi in case they want to seek any mental health support. I'll put it in the description of the video. All right. Thank you so much. With this, we come to the end of the first episode of Speak Synergy. Thank you so much, Parnavi, for gracing the first episode. It was an absolute pleasure and honor to have you.
Yes, it was an honor to be on your podcast, Jelsina. Thank you for inviting me.
All right.